Thank you guys for tuning in. I know I am a little late, but you know, you always have those technical difficulties. So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in to me, your girl, Miss Awesome Lawson. And today is the day that everybody has been waiting for. The interview that I know of someone personally that experienced and that was tested positive for COVID-19. Now, I know her personally, and you may know her too, so we're going to jump right into the interview. Okay.
Hey everyone, my name is Priyonda Davis. Some of you all may know me as Priyonda Price or Priyonda Broom, if you know me from school. And I am the victim, I don't want to call myself a victim. I am one of the people that suffered from COVID-19. And I'm just here to tell you my story and my experience. And hopefully you'll get a full understanding of someone that has been traumatized by this. And that is rebuilding and setting aside a time to set aside to rebuild themselves. And I'm just here to answer any questions.
Okay, you guys, one moment. Let me try to see if I turn this around, will it be a little better? I don't know. What you think? Probably not.
Because you got the charger. You got the charger in.
Okay. Oh, okay, you right. Okay, you guys, just a little bit of history before we jump right into the interview. Me and Priyonda have known each other since what, like
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade. Sixth grade.
Can you move those like things so you can see?
Yeah, that's. I guess I don't think I can, y'all. I guess
just try it. Oh no, they don't move. Okay. Oops. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. You know, they can see me, but those are just the words. So, thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in. Unfortunately, we can't just shout you all out. We're gonna go ahead with the interview. We have been knowing each other for over 20-some years, so it is a privilege to know someone who has dealt with this personally and just be able to just talk to them throughout the whole entire situation and just get full detail. The things that, you know, you probably wouldn't be able to ask someone that you don't know as well. I've been able to do those type of things. So, Bree, let's jump right in to when were you first tested positive for COVID-19?
Well, I want to take it back a little bit further. First of all, I initially became sick March the 7th when I came home. I had just came home from a cruise on the Carnival. I was there for 6 days. I was absolutely perfect. I got on everything. I went everywhere that the ship went. I got off. I enjoyed myself and my husband. I just got married. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. And after that night, well, when we was coming back on our flight, we caught a flight, and there was this man. He kept coughing, and he was following us throughout the airport, my husband and I. And as he was following us, my husband kept saying, let's go this way, trying to avoid him. Man, why are you following us? Get away from us. And just, you know, being kind of aggressive with that. I noticed that the man had on some wristbands, not like a wristband for a designer or something like that, or for some type of display of something good, but something like a hospital type bands. He had several of them on.
Really?
And I said, babe, I bet you that joker had that stuff. And he said, we ain't gonna worry about it. Let's go on our flight. Probably about 30 minutes after I got on the airplane, I started coughing. And I said, oh my goodness, how did I start coughing that fast? I said, that joker was just coughing around me. And so he said, I said, yeah, when I get home, I'll be all right. So I got home, got in the car, and then I proceeded to my mom's house. And we gave out all our little gifts from our trip. I said, oh, I got to go home. I'm not feeling well.
Now, how were you on the trip? And I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to jump in there with some of the things that you're saying. On this trip, now, you had just got married. Now, she's a newlywed, you guys. So, you had just got married. Y'all, on the cruise, how were you then?
I was partying every day.
Okay.
I was going to the different events that they had on the ship. I mean, I really enjoyed myself. I was like, this is my best life. We going into this marriage, like, bam.
Yeah. So did you still have the cough, or do you not remember?
I didn't have any cough on the ship.
So you just remember it like after he did it. You kind of remember like
doing
at
it
the
after
airport.
that.
Okay.
I was I was actually in the airplane already on our way home.
Okay.
And when I left my mom's house, we went home, and I asked my husband. I said, "Can you just give me that NyQuil?" I said, "I'll fight this off. I'll be ready to go to work Monday." I said, "I'll take tomorrow and I'll relax and get myself restarted for work."
Okay.
You know. Well, when I took the NyQuil, when Sunday came, I could not get up. I could not do anything. And then I asked my husband. I said, "Babe, can you just go get me some more NyQuil?" Throughout the night, I remember getting up, kept going back into the shower, taking a shower, because I was going through like a hot cold spell.
Okay.
But I thought that going through that hot cold spell that I was, I'm gonna fight this stuff off. I'm gonna be ready for work Monday, because I had an agenda, I had a goal. We just got married. I got these plans I wrote out that we're gonna get ready to start doing. Well, when Sunday came, by Sunday morning, I asked him to go get some more. I said, "Babe, I gotta still fight this stuff off. Just go get me some more NyQuil." I'm still laying in bed. By the time he gets to the store, he calls me on the phone, and I remember him saying, "Baby, I'm in the store to get the NyQuil. I'll be there in a minute." And I could not breathe. I could not get some words out clear enough for him to understand that I need him. I just said, "Help."
Wow.
And that's all I could get out. And I was just laying there waiting on him to come home. And when he came home, he said, "Baby, you okay?" And it was like I was struggling to breathe at that point. And all I could say is, "Don't let me, I like this. Don't let me die like this." And when he set me up out the bed, he said, "Come on, baby, let me help you get up." When he got me up, I instantly started throwing up. And when I started throwing up, I still could not breathe. It was like my body was trying to fight off something, but I didn't really know exactly how to fight it off.
Yeah.
So I was like, "I gotta use the bathroom." So he walked me to the restroom. I used the restroom, but it was like my body was shutting down so fast that I couldn't even put my clothes on. I couldn't even put my panties down to use the restroom. Nothing. I could not do anything. So he said, "Baby, I'm finna call 911. I said, "I gotta go to Kaiser." And he said, "Well, what that mean?" I said, "That's down, I don't live far from Kaiser." So he drove me to Kaiser, and I just kept saying, "Don't let me die. Don't let me die." He said, "Baby, you're not gonna die." And I'm like, "Why I can't breathe? Why am I keep coughing? I'm feeling hot, cold, chills. I'm going through all of these different emotions, but I can't put my mind on what it is." And so when I get to the hospital, they get me a wheelchair, they take me in the back, and they say, "Ma'am, have anything?" And then my husband instantly, he started talking, because I couldn't say anything. I just kept throwing up. I had this towel in front of me, and it just kept coming. Something just kept coming up. It was, at one point, it was so big of a mass that I was like, my whole lung just came. It was just really big. And I remember Tim telling them, "We just got off a ship yesterday, and she's like this today. I don't know what happened." And they said, "Oh, what countries did y'all go to?" And he named them. We were supposed to go to Jamaica and Cozumel, but we wasn't able to go because our ship got diverted. And they kept telling us nobody on the ship was sick. Don't be alarmed. So we wasn't thinking somebody probably got sick on the ship and they, trying to trick us or whatever. So the countries, I can't really recall them. All I remember now is one of them was Dominican Republic and Grand Turks and Jamaica. And Bahamas, I'm sorry. And so they said, "Oh, well, that's not on the list. But do you have a fever?" I had all of the symptoms except a fever. And she said, "Well, they said you have to have a fever to have COVID. So we'll do the test for you, but we don't have a testing that we can do in-house."
So let me ask you this: were you wanting to do the test?
I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. I just wanted some form of relief.
Okay.
And I still couldn't really talk. He was doing all the talking for me, which I thank God that he was there to articulate those things, because my mind was like, I just want to feel right. I gotta go to work Monday, and for those of you that know me or don't know me, I'm a workaholic. I'm used to always going to work. Like, I go to work and I have a baby one day. You know what I mean? And I'll just be taking the baby. Hey, can somebody watch
Not
this
me.
baby?
Not
Can
me.
somebody watch this baby so I can go to work? So I love to. I pride myself on being a workaholic. So
She does. You guys.
so as I was thinking, all I was thinking of how I'm gonna get back to work. I took all this time off from this. I can't figure out what's wrong. Man, I can't go to work like this. Fix this so I can go to work.
Okay.
So he's doing all the talking for me at the time, and she says, ma'am, after they get me the nausea gone away, kind of sort of for that moment, they're coming in asking me all kind of questions, who all I've been around. They told me just as a precautionary, we got to do a 14-day quarantine, and we want to make sure that if it is this, that you're not exposed to anyone else, and I can't be around family, friends, all the things you guys have heard on the TV.
Okay.
I said, okay. So then she comes in and she sticks this long tube with the little Q-tip something on the end, and she sticks it all the way in the back. And I'm like, hey, could you have warned me?
So how did that feel for people that are like, wanting to get tested, or just how did that feel with them sticking that thing down your nose, going all the way down your throat?
Well, it goes. It feels like it goes in your ear. I mean, in your nose and out your ear. But of course, it doesn't go that far back. It just feels like it. Like it's really fast. They juke and they juke it back out.
Is it really long?
The thing is, because it got to go so far back, it's long. But it's done really fast. So it's not. It's like a. And it's out by the time you it's out, it's over with. So then she does that side, then she comes back and does this side, and then
Wait a minute. So she got to do both sides.
They do both sides, and then they put it inside like I guess a test
tube to send it off.
Yes, to send it off. So then after that, by this time, like I said, I'm at Kaiser at their little emergency room type thing, and people are treating me like I have Ebola. So now I'm really scared because. You know how those movies show you the Ebola virus and everybody's suited up and you can't see their face? All you can hear is them talking or whatever. That's how they was. Like they was like in robot clothing.
So was this after? Did you get that treatment after you got tested, or was this like after the test came back?
No, this is right when I first went into
when
their
you got tested.
When I got
they
there,
start treating you like
they instantly when they said. Saw me doing all throwing up and everything. They instantly when the doctor finally came in, she was booted up. Nobody came in the room with me with just a mask on or just a shield. They had full body armor, like that movie. I forgot the name of it, but like people have on, the Ebola.
So how did that make you? So now you're going into, you don't know what's going on.
Right.
You trying to just really trying to put everything together. You done got tested for this, and now people are treating you as if you just have something that you could never get rid of. How did that make you feel?
I felt horrible after I analyzed it. But what made me feel even more horrible is the wait time. You have that 14-day quarantine time. And the first week went past. So when I'm leaving there, they telling me we don't know if you have it. We have to send the test over to CDC.
How long were you in there?
I was at that particular location. I was there for 1 day.
Okay.
I was there for maybe about 6 hours.
Okay.
Max.
So now you're home.
So they got me home. They told me they're gonna treat me like I have the flu because those other tests haven't come back yet, and it takes about 5 to 7 business days to come back, and then I'll know more after that time. And she told me to make sure I contact health department in my county and let them know. So that was a Sunday. So Monday morning, I called them and I let them know that I'm waiting on the CDC to make contact with me. I've been tested for COVID-19. Okay. By this time, I just want to let everybody know there was only one death in the state of Georgia that particular week that I began to become ill. So it was still new. There was no testing locally, like how you see all those centers everywhere. There was none of that. going into Kaiser, like they said, they didn't have the testing there. They had to go and send it out to the CDC. So I waited. So about a week later, about 5 days later.
I gotta interrupt. I gotta interrupt. That's and y'all, I'm gonna be doing a lot of interrupting. I'll be working on this, but you know, this me. I got a question that I'm pretty sure that everybody wanna know. Your husband, how was he feeling at the time where you going through all these emotions? What did he ever feel any kind of way? Cause y'all just got married. Y'all done slept in the bed together. You know what I mean? Y'all been hugging.
Well,
you know,
I want to say.
How did he feel?
I want to say my husband has been the absolute best. If you needed a support system, I'm telling you, he's been my best support.
So you mean to tell me he wasn't getting no kind of
he wasn't playing that? I've heard women say
he wasn't sick. He didn't get sick.
He did not get sick. He took me to all my doctor's appointments. He took me to every type of treatment. If I was couldn't feed myself, he fed me every day. He had to take time off of work. I mean, he did everything. When people say, "Hey, that's what your husband's supposed to do," he did everything he was supposed to do.
So now, y'all, this is amazing to me because I'm asking a question that y'all want to know. Well, I think y'all want to know. I already know him because I've been talking to her like every day since I found out, or if not every other day. But that was one of the questions I asked.
Everybody always say, "Did he get sick?
Did your husband get sick?"
No.
And he didn't get sick, y'all. So this is the question that I'm asking her and the experiences that she's giving you guys is her experience. So I know you probably know other people that went through different experiences, but this is why I wanted to bring my friend in because see, I can ask her the things that you may not want to ask another person or you don't feel comfortable asking someone. But I got down to the nitty gritty. So how close y'all got? Was y'all sleeping in the same room or was y'all doing like some of these folk do, like, you know, sleeping, y'all were roommates or somebody slept downstairs? Where was y'all sleeping in?
We slept in the same bed. I will say the first couple of days though we slept opposite.
Like
of each other.
Like back to back?
Nope.
Like
I was at the foot of the bed, he was at the head of the bed.
Okay.
Like that.
Just wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. What y'all doing turf like that?
It was because I was afraid that I would infect my husband.
Okay. I thought you were. I thought it was
afraid I would infect my husband.
X-rated, y'all. I thought it was So, okay. So, you slept at the one end of the bed and he slept at the other end of the bed to basically, like, for protection because you did not want him to get sick. So, then how long did y'all sleep like that before you was just like, shoot, come on here?
So, after a week, I was waiting on the CDC to contact me. So we were basically waiting on that.
Okay.
During that time, CDC never called. The emergency room doctor that I went to go see when I first got ill, she called. And she told me that she did not want to, that they ended up not sending my information over to the CDC. She did not want to become, she did not want to open up a can of worms because I did not go to those countries that they had on alert at the time. So I actually never received my test results. I never even found out if I was positive for COVID or any of those things for that whole 2 weeks that I was under the quarantine. But I still had those symptoms. I was still feeling hot, cold. I was still coughing up mucus. I was still unable to really be fully mobile. And by that time, the second week, my mother, she was in the hospital because she had contacted COVID-19. And
do y'all hear this? So this is like a double whammy, okay? So she's under quarantine, and then she finds out that her mother has COVID-19. She's not. So can y'all even imagine, like, you already going through these mental, just issues and thinking about what's going on and what's going to happen in the future. I just got married. Oh, Lord. All this right here. Your husband doesn't have any symptoms, but then here it is. Your mother has the symptoms.
Right.
Can y'all imagine? Okay.
And so
Go ahead.
my mother was actually in the hospital for like 4 days initially. And just to give you a little background, my mother, she did have a heart attack and a stroke back when I had just graduated high school, and so she did have some previous medical issues.
Mhm.
Those of which I did not have. I've never had diabetes, high blood pressure, anything. As a matter of fact, I had been getting tested the whole time the year before, preparing for my life that I'm, getting ready to go into. So she was in the hospital and she says, "Pre, they never, your test never came back." I said, "No." She said, the nurse just came in here and told me. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, she didn't say the nurse came in. She said the nurse called over the phone and said, "Ma'am, you tested positive for COVID-19. She said, "Yeah, y'all didn't bring me nothing to eat or nothing to drink." This was by day 4. That's how long it took for her results to come back. And the nurse told her, "Well, if we could get somebody to come in and give you some water and feed you, then we'll get somebody to come in there to see you."
Wait a minute. Now pause, y'all. I'm sorry, Free, but because I know now, mind y'all, I want we gonna pause right quick because I want to. There's a lot of things that I'm passionate about because I have been in the medical field for, 10 years or more, and so I want y'all to know that Free is going to be on her new YouTube page. Well, she's had a YouTube page, but she has have not used it. She just really just how people just be on YouTube. But she's gonna use this platform to discuss this further. So what I want you guys to do is when you get a moment to subscribe to her YouTube channel and you can follow this whole everything. This is just the start. She's gonna be discussing this more on her page. And what is the name of your page? Where can they find you at on YouTube?
I'm Priyanda Davis on YouTube.
Okay. So spell, cause everybody, Brianna ain't no Susan or no Mary.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Tell them how to spell Brianna.
My first name is Priyanda. Preyonda. My
Okay.
last name is Davis. Davis.
And that's okay. Hey
And
y'all.
on Instagram, I'm Sweep the Broom because, of course, my maiden name is Broom. So, Sweep the Broom. And then on Facebook, I'm Priyanda Davis.
So now, you mentioned that your mom was tested positive.
Mhm.
Had you got your results back yet?
No, I still
Okay.
have not got my results back.
So here it is. Her mom is tested positive. She has not gotten her results back yet, and they're telling her mom that we'll see if there is anybody to come in to give you food or water. Now this is what a lot of people have been talking about on social media. We're saying, like, how can you go in with this issue and then come out dead? So when Bree first told me this, I was like, so they nobody wanted to go in and like feed your mom or say anything.
Nope.
So
She told me that after her test came back and it showed positive, she said she understood that doctors and nurses and everything would be afraid because it's unknown. But she said she didn't feel like it was fair for her to feel like nobody wanted to attend to her, being that she was at a medical facility.
Right.
So once she found out that she was positive, she said, she kept telling me, "Pre, I think you positive too. I think I got this from you. I haven't been nowhere."
Wow.
She said, "I think I got this from you. So how come you don't know if you positive?"
Wow.
So I'm laying in the bed. I'm still, like I said, I'm still sick, and the doctor, she's having me to come in and take more blood work. But guess what? None of it said anything about COVID. None of the blood work said anything about COVID. She's steady trying to see if I have diabetes, high blood pressure, and all those other elements, which, once again, I come back negative. I don't have any of those things.
So she was more focused on, like,
The underlying issues that would, I guess, cause you to still be sick from not
Okay.
really getting to the
Okay.
core,
so
in my
okay.
opinion.
So she probably was saying maybe it's this or that and
Right.
not COVID.
Right.
Okay.
So then, so after that, my mom, she talked to a doctor that came in. It was an infectious disease doctor, and that doctor told her, "Thank you for not giving up. This thing is not as big as everybody's trying to make this out of. You're gonna make it out okay." And she asked my mother, did she want to be released to go back home, and would she be able to self quarantine for the remainder of the time. My mother agreed. My mother, told them how she felt. And by this time, it was about 12 o'clock noon. And you know how they feed you early, about 6 o'clock dinner time. She hadn't eaten since 6 o'clock p.m. the day before. And once again, this was about 12 o'clock noon. So she said, I need to get out of here. At least I know how I'll treat myself at home. So she went home. She was still feeling bad, still could not breathe, still couldn't but make those 5 or 6 steps. Like me, I was having those same issues. But I was at home. I was able to be catered by my husband. I was able to, try different remedies. By now, I'm boiling the water, putting the onions and garlic in it, putting it over my head.
So you did do that?
I did everything.
Okay.
I was still sick. I was still coughing up green and yellow mucus, and eventually it turned to clear and then no more.
So you think that what they were saying to do, boil everything over you and sit over it, do you think that helped you?
It helped me try to clear some of my passageway so I could be able to breathe. But I was still having the hot colds. It wasn't able to fix that part. Okay. I was still having the nausea. It wasn't able to fix that part. I was still coughing. It wasn't able to fix that part. And I was still not having any energy to do anything. I still did not get a fever any of that time. So my mom, she went home. I'm trying to tell you both sides of the story because we are connected, even though we're in 2 separate households.
She is going to get into more detail on her channel. So do not forget to subscribe to your channel at
Priyanda Davis.
Priyanda Davis on YouTube, because she's going to go into more detail with her mom and everything. Also, what bothers me, Pri, is that you said that, they didn't even want to come in and feed your mom, give her water. So to me, it's like, wow, if she had stayed there a week, she may have not even drinking anything or eaten. And you could have possibly, her mom could have possibly died from starvation or dehydration, and they would have said that it's COVID. Now, these are just our opinions, y'all. We just want to put that out there. Like, now, this is her real life experience. And so the things that we're putting together to just say, hey, this could have happened, these are just our opinions. And so it's really awesome to have someone here to share this with us, especially someone that I know that I can ask the questions that you may want to know. And we are going to open up the lines in a minute. But it was something else I wanted to ask you, Bree. So at this point, you're at home. Your mom is at home. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling mentally with all this going on? You're at home. You're quarantining. Your mom has this. She's saying, "Did I get it from you? You just got married." How is your brain working at this point?
At this time, I'm really feeling betrayed. I'm feeling betrayed because I put trust in a medical professional that was supposed to take care of me, that I pay my premiums every month. I make sure that I'm on top of all those things, and I still was not getting the answers that I needed. I felt betrayed that my mom had to go through those things with the thought of maybe I'm the reason behind that. I'm feeling betrayed that the man at the airport thought it was okay to cough and not have his mouth covered. And I'm considering that he probably knew what he had because he had those bands on his wrist. The same bands that I had on my wrist when I eventually ended up going to Piedmont Fayetteville Hospital, which my mother was also there as well. I told you she exited the hospital. She was at Wellstar Hospital in East Point at first. They let her go home. A couple of days later, she ended up back in the hospital. The ambulance had to come take her, and she was very adamant with those EMT professionals that she did not want to go back to Wellstar. and she asked them to send her somewhere else, which fortunately for her, she lived on a border where she could go to Piedmont, Fayetteville.
Okay.
And so that's where she was the second time when the emergency room, when the EMT had to take her to the emergency room. That's also where I ended up when I finally was able to buckle down and decide to go and find out exactly what was going on with me. So I actually did not receive my test results until 22 days later. You know, typically they tell you to do the 14-day quarantine. 22 days later, I was still ill. 22 days later, I was still unable to hold food down. And I finally went to Piedmont, Fayetteville. I am forever grateful to them. I went in, like I said, I could not hold down food. I still was throwing up. I still was, unable to, I still going through hot, cold chills, still coughing. When I got there, they immediately took me back to the back, and they tested me for COVID-19. I tested positive.
So you tested again? You tested with them again?
I tested with Piedmont, Fayetteville for the first time. Remember when I went to Kaiser, they tested me, but they never submitted my testing.
Okay.
To the CDC.
So okay, all right, okay, yeah.
So, at that time, towards the end of March, I got tested, and they submitted my testing. They actually do their testing within the hospital. They had to send it to Atlanta Hospital, but it came back pretty quickly.
How long do you think it took for Pete?
Well, they came. I went in that morning. That next day, that early morning, the next day, the doctor called me. Mind you, the doctor